watching Channel 13, WTHR, Indianapolis. Now, John Stehr, Ann Ryder, Bob Gregory's SkyTrack forecast, and sports with Dave Calabro. Central Indiana's #1 late newscast. This is Channel 13 Eyewitness News. Tonight.
You're watching the end of a 3-hour standoff at an Eastside hotel. The man police wanted to arrest jumped out of a window when flames lit up the hotel room behind him. Good evening, everyone. I'm John Stehr. Ann Ryder has this night off. The man at the center of the standoff was 29-year-old William Flanagan. The fall killed him, despite attempts by paramedics to save his life. Channel 13 Eyewitness News reporter David McAnally has been following the story since the beginning, and he joins us now live from the Holiday Inn at 21st and Shadeland with more. Dave?
John, it all began here about 8 hours ago as postal inspectors showed up to try to arrest William Flanagan. It ended 3 hours after that with Flanagan's deadly jump from his hotel room window. This was the scene a few hours earlier. William Flanagan, holding a phone, ranting at police from his perch on the window ledge. Flanagan and 3 friends had checked in here this afternoon with one of the credit cards Flanagan allegedly stole from a home mailbox. Postal inspectors had been looking for Flanagan for 10 days. He was wanted in a series of mail thefts. But when police moved in to arrest him here today,
refused to surrender to officers, made statements that they wouldn't surrender, that they wouldn't be arrested. At that point, supervisors requested tactical assistance.
The SWAT team moved in, and so did hostage negotiators who tried to talk with Flanagan. Flanagan was holding his friend against his will. Eventually, he released him. Meanwhile, guests continued to come and go from the hotel.
Is he still up there?
He's still up there.
Wow. Yeah, I've never seen this many cops in my life.
For hours, police tried talking, but Flanagan was apparently drunk.
We brought his family members here. The psychologists cautioned against letting the family members talk directly to him because they thought that he might want to commit suicide in front of his mother, his sisters, and brothers, so we didn't do that. We didn't rush the room because we felt he might push him out the window.
But at about 6:25 tonight, after setting fire to his own room, he jumped.
He was down on the ground, face down, when they rolled him over.
Was he responsive at all?
No.
A disappointment for the SWAT team, which was inches away from grabbing and saving Flanagan.
Flipping back on you, Garrett, here.
Firefighters then raced to put down the blaze and keep the fire from spreading. They were able to do that successfully. One of the questions that police had all afternoon during the ordeal was, did Flanagan have a gun inside? Once they got inside, they did find no weapon. John?
Dave, after he started the fire, was he considered a suspect or someone who needed help?
Well, both. I asked the SWAT team exactly that question, and they said that once they found that the fire had been started and knowing that he appeared to be suicidal, they considered him someone who needed help, and they were working to rescue him, as well as rescue people in the hotel who could have been injured had that fire spread.
All right, thank you, David.
Sure.
David McAnally reporting from 21st and Shadeland. And about a mile east of the Holiday Inn, there was another tragedy tonight. A woman tried to make an illegal U-turn on I-70 eastbound near Post Road. A tractor-trailer truck couldn't stop in time and plowed into her car from behind. The driver and one of her passengers were killed. A third person riding in the car is in stable condition at Wishart Hospital. The truck driver wasn't hurt. It was an optimistic tone set by President Clinton tonight as he gave his 4th State of the Union address. In a 61-minute speech, Mr. Clinton hit all the popular themes, calling for bipartisan efforts to balance the budget and to shrink the size of government.
The era of big government is over. But we cannot go back to the time when our citizens were left to fend for themselves.
For a Republican perspective, I spoke with Indiana's 2nd District Congressman David McIntosh tonight from Washington. He called the president's words eloquent, but said the follow-up will be more important than the words.
What all of us had in the back of our minds, though, is will he walk the walk? Or is this just more talk? In the past, the president's been vetoing his own promises. Tax cut, balanced budget, welfare reform.
Still, Indiana Democrats are behind their president. State Party Chairman Joe Andrew told me after the speech that it was a fine State of the Union message and an impressive kickoff to the presidential campaign.
He's an incumbent president. He's running on a record, and a record, as he detailed here, that's very impressive. A record of tax decreases, of budget deficit decreases, of manufacturing and good jobs being increased. The State of the Union is better than it has been in decades, plain and simple.
The speech is seen as a blueprint for the president's re-election plans. As the First Lady prepares to testify before the Senate Whitewater Committee, there are questions over how long the committee itself will be in business. Mrs. Clinton is scheduled to testify on Friday. The panel is supposed to finish its work by the end of next month, but Republicans are asking for an indefinite extension. Democratic leaders say they will never agree to an open-ended probe. Prosecutors continue building a fraud case against Moja Ajabu. The former Indiana Black Panther militia leader is suing to win a settlement for a fire at his home. The Indiana insurance company is countersuing, claiming fraud. Ajabu's Indianapolis home was damaged by fire in May of 1994. The Hamilton County Health Department is giving free gamma globulin shots to anyone who ate at a Westfield Taco Bell on January 13th and 14th. At least 8 customers have come down with Hepatitis-A, which was spread by a sick employee. The shot helps fight off the virus. Taco Bell has set up a hotline for questions or concerns, and the number to call is 1-800-607-7491. An unexpected stop tonight for a Delta Airlines flight from Cincinnati to New Orleans. Flight 399 made an emergency landing in Nashville after the airplane got 2 bomb threats. The 68 passengers on board were taken off. Bomb-sniffing dogs boarded but were unable to find anything suspicious. Delta had a similar situation over the weekend when a flight from Cincinnati to Salt Lake City was threatened. There was no bomb found that night either. 200 buildings are being cleaned up tonight in Shreveport, Louisiana, the aftermath of a tornado that spun through town. The storm knocked out power for thousands of people. At least 30 people in a nursing home were hurt when the twister hit their building dead on. Dozens of small planes were tossed about at an airstrip just south of the city. Well, nothing that severe in our weather outlook, but we may see another dusting of snow in the next day or so. Bob Gregory has details now in First Weather.
Well, the frontal system is still off to our west, so we're in a very warm sector here as far as air is concerned right now. And we just at this hour reporting cloudy skies. It looks very moist downtown, though, as you can see right now. Here are the numbers for Indianapolis today. Temperature continues to go up, 46. That's the present reading. That's our high so far for the day. 39/100ths of an inch of moisture. We've had, that's the low, 77/100ths of an inch of moisture. So that's 3.6 for the month. We're nearly 2 inches above normal. Now, here are the look at the temperatures around the state. 47 out of Bloomington. Cool spot down in Columbus there with 43 also in Muncie, and then 46 is here in Lafayette. During the overnight period, we will have some rain or drizzle continuing, and then what's left in the moisture, some snow or flurries before dawn. We're looking at a low temperature here of 30 degrees. Could be enough dusting out there, so you may want to watch it first thing. Could have some slick spots. Tomorrow's going to be a windy and colder day with wind chills around 0. I'll have more on that and the weekend coming up.
All right, thanks, Bob. And still to come tonight on Eyewitness News, if you've been ripped off, help is just a phone call away. Our whistleblower hotline is open tonight to take your calls. And coming up, troubleshooter John Baird will join us with information on how you can get help. Plus, IPS takes another step forward tonight regarding the future status of hundreds of administrators and principals. We'll tell you what happened. And one of the top teams in the Big Ten is in cream and crimson territory tonight. Chris Stout will have highlights from Assembly Hall. But first, here are tonight's winning lottery numbers.
Closed captioning of Eyewitness News is brought to you in part by Revco Drugstores. Revco, a friend for life.
Head to Menards for Stanley Tool savings. Choose from a huge selection of Stanley tools, including a 6-piece screwdriver set for just $2.97. A Stanley toolbox saw is only $7.96. Plus, save on shower ensembles from American Shower and Bath. On sale in many styles. This white shower stall comes with base, faucet, and more, just $59.97. Get the best for your bath at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
How can this be car of the year? You can't get up and walk around in a car. Cars don't have seats on rollers, or so many seats, period. Or so much space for so many things. And they certainly don't offer sliding doors on both sides. Well then, it would appear that for the first time ever, the Motor Trend Car of the Year is more than a car. It's a caravan from the new Dodge.
What's new at Fazoli's? Spaghetti Fest. Rich provolone and mozzarella cheeses on baked spaghetti parmesan. creamy Alfredo and fresh tomato sauce together on spaghetti tomato Alfredo. Italian sausage and meatballs on a hearty spaghetti platter.
Mazzoli's real Italian, real fat.
You know, the way things are going, I think we need another phone line.
Am I missing something, Fred?
Well, not now. I mean on Saturdays. Everybody calls on Saturdays.
Well, how can we afford an extra line for just one day?
Get a Meritech Flex Line, the lower-cost extra line for when your business gets busy. Order Flex Line now and get free installation.
Well, there's got to be a way.
Ameritech, your link to better communication.
By the middle of May, Indianapolis public school principals and administrators will know if they're out of a job. Tonight, the IPS board voted to notify employees of the pending layoff, but it did not come without controversy. Channel 13 Eyewitness News reporter Jeremy Rogowski is in our newsroom now with more on that story. Jeremy?
John, between now and May the 10th, IPS Superintendent Esperanza Zendejas will continue evaluating administrators before making her recommendation on who and how many positions should be cut. Zendejas says the move is essential to get IPS out of a major financial crisis, but it could put dozens of other employees in a crisis of their own. With their jobs on the line, a jam-packed room of IPS staffers listen to Superintendent Zendejas lay it on the line.
You must decide which are the tough decisions you're going to do to release those funds. And this is a tough one.
A tough task of notifying 275 administrators their contracts may not be renewed come May. Zendejas says the move must be done to free up $2 million and free IPS from what she calls a critical fiscal situation. With fewer administrators, the superintendent says teacher salaries could be raised, but the idea left board members divided.
But I think it is absolutely criminal to hold these people hostage while we sit up here and get our ducks in a row.
This is probably one of the top 5 things I've hated doing since I've been on the school board. It makes me want to barf. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm sick of paying good people 1% and 2% when they deserve 5, 10, and 15%. And if doing this will accomplish that, then I'll take the criticism for it. But you people deserve more money.
Mr. Rodman?
Yes.
Motion passed, 4-3.
The motion passed, but to the dismay of many administrators who left in disgust.
It makes it really difficult for those of us who, this is our main source of income, and we're left hanging out there.
Under lots of pressure at this time.
Superintendent Zendejas did try to relieve that pressure by saying, quote, a significant number of employees will still be with IPS next year. She also said principals who do get laid off will be able to apply for a teacher's position, but really that isn't much consolation for folks who've worked their way up the ladder and been an administrator or principal for many years. John?
All right, thank you, Jeremy. The 2 Evansville teachers accused of improper contact with one of their students are out of work. Robert Brumley has resigned his job as athletics and student activities director at Wrights High School. Choir director Rick Raymond also quit. Brumley is charged with showing a pornographic movie to a 17-year-old student and then asking the boy to touch himself. He also allegedly gave the boy vodka. Brumley faces criminal charges, but Raymond is not under investigation. An intense search tonight in Houston. The subject is this girl, 10-year-old Cindy Garcia, who is 8 months pregnant. Police fear that Garcia may not look for a doctor if she goes into labor. It's believed the girl may be headed to Mexico to join the 22-year-old father of her child. You know, there's not much that's more frustrating than getting ripped off by a con artist and then having nowhere to turn. But now you do have somewhere to turn. You can call WTHR's new consumer troubleshooter, John Baird. John joins us live right now, ready to take your phone calls on our special whistleblower hotline. John?
John, we've been getting calls all night long. As a matter of fact, we had lots during the 5, 5:30, and 6 o'clock news. And they're here for the next 20 minutes or so to take your calls. They will be in here. The volunteers will be in here also the next 2 nights to take your calls. If you have any consumer fraud issues, if someone's tried to rip you off or have ripped you off, or if you just have a general consumer complaint, these are the people to call. We have some phone numbers for you. In Indianapolis, the number is 239-1013. Outside of Indianapolis, call 1-800-553-5395. And again, any consumer problem you may have, especially the ones where you're convinced that the person is really deliberately trying to rip you off, give us a call. We'll try to help you out and get it solved. John, back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks a lot, John.
All right, John.
And just ahead tonight, cinnamon may add spice, but if it's used too much, it can lead to serious problems. HealthCast reporter Jill Dittmeyer will have details coming up next. And temperatures are about to take another nosedive. Bob Gregory will tell us by how much, coming up in his SkyTrack 13 forecast.
With new double slots from the Hoosier Lottery, you can win up to $30,000 instantly. Or with new Lucky Valentine, win $1,000. Or win up to $7,000 with new Wild Money.
This is the Synchrony STS seed and herbicide system. This is the bean machine.
If you're just rolling out of bed, do not look outside.
The new Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo offers an available V8 and full-time four-wheel drive.
On the way, buses are running behind.
Anti-lock disc brakes and dual airbags.
Getting through.
Plus package values of up to $1,000.
All in all, it's a great day for snowmen.
Making the new Jeep Grand Cherokee greatly underappreciated by school kids everywhere.
See the 4x4 of the year at your Jeep and Eagle dealer.
My father-in-law came to live with us 2.5 years ago. He's on 13 medications a day, and that's a lot of medications. And if it weren't for Mary Ann, I don't know what I would have done. Mary Ann was right there from the very beginning. She is the one that recommended the 7-day pill box. These may sound like simple things, but I'm telling you, you can't believe how much they help. She's just a sweetheart, and she really cares. She really does. Walmart's very important to me. I have a sign on my front door that says if I'm not home, I'm at Walmart. And it's the truth.
Cinnamon. It's great on your morning toast. It's great in candy. But too much of it could be bad for your mouth. HealthCast reporter Jill Dittmeyer has more.
Cinnamon gum and candy may look harmless, but they can cause white spots and sores in your mouth.
It was just a normal checkup, and the dentist noticed these spots on the inside of my cheek.
The spots in Pat Anderson's mouth looked like precancerous lesions or an early sign of lupus, a disease where the body's tissue gets inflamed. It turned out Pat was using too much cinnamon.
Yeah, I was chewing a lot of cinnamon gum, a lot of cinnamon gum.
In fact, he was chewing 18 pieces of gum a day. Dr. Miller, an oral pathologist, said the cinnamon causes spots.
Some people will tell us, well, I know as soon as I put cinnamon in my cheek or something like that, it burns a little bit, but I didn't think it was going to ever hurt me.
The researchers found cinnamon gum, hard candy, and breath mints, as well as jaw breakers and antacids, can lead to mouth sores.
There's an active ingredient called cinnamic aldehyde, and that seems to be the irritant or allergen that's involved.
You know, anything in excess is bad. You know, certainly cinnamon gum, yes.
After Pat stopped chewing cinnamon gum for a month, his mouth sores disappeared.
Researchers found that people who quit smoking have the most mouth problems because they chew a lot of gum. Bob Gregory joining us now, and our problem is going to be snow?
Maybe maybe enough in the morning here with temperatures. We're still mild. The warmest part of the day is right now, but temperatures will fall in the morning, so it could be a little slippery out there. We had the flood watch earlier in the day. That's been canceled for all except the southeastern chunk of the state, say from Louisville over towards Cincinnati. The rains will continue there. We'll show you that on radar here in just a second. Now we get set for the colder air there. Our sky watchers, here's their report. Now the white lettering, they've updated our precip amounts here as far as this evening is concerned. Kim Morris out of Mooresville with 1.5 inches there. Dean Farmer at Speedway just over an inch. Phil Endress up in Carmel with an inch. 7,500's our number in the downtown area. Out at the airport, 77, as you saw there. Out of Columbus now, they have come up with, let's see, Marion Winterberg called in with 9/10 of an inch. An inch over in Greencastle from Leslie Durham, and up at Kokomo, Tom Symes with just under 3/4 of an inch of moisture. So that's the setup around the state. Outside still looks a little dreary out there. I think Walter Wapofnik is still working tonight. Give us a wipe there and see what we can find out on our Yeah, there's a little moisture coming off the windshield there, so we get kind of a moist gray look in the downtown area. At the airport, though, it's just cloudy, 46 officially. We have 48 here. Humidity all the way up. Winds are south at 13. Pressure continues to go down. That's at 29.52. Still some rain or light rain or drizzle, and then flurries by morning. 30 degrees will be that drive time temperature, so keep that in mind. Satellite view shows you what's going on. All of the moisture is moving out back behind this area. A few holes in the clouds, and then some, with that, some snow flurries or light snow is falling up in parts of Illinois, eastern part of Iowa. Most of the heavier rain now is down along this portion of the river. That will continue to move on out to the east. A little sleet and frozen stuff mixed in up here, but as this swings around behind this low, that's what could give us that dusting in the morning. This is Doppler radar out of the Indianapolis Weather Service office. A little patch of some heavier showers south of Bedford down toward the Ohio River, but it's just in this area where the watch remains with the possibility of some flooding. Here's the story now. This area of low pressure by tomorrow morning will be located near Toledo, Ohio. Warm front extending east. Cold front will be off to our east, so we'll start to feel that chillier air. With the residual moisture that's around, we could have a dusting of snow there in some spots, maybe just a tad more, but enough maybe to make the road slick. Northwesterly flow as this area of high pressure starts to build in, and this is Friday's weather out here. Highs tomorrow in the mid-20s for us. We'll have a strong west-northwesterly wind, so that's going to make it feel around 0, maybe below at times, but we're opting for some sunshine in the afternoon. So again, for the overnight now, some drizzle around or light rain. 30 will be the low. 8 o'clock in the morning, that's stuff will probably have some snow around. 30 degrees there, so be aware that the roads could be slick. And then in the afternoon tomorrow, a windy, cold day. Some sunshine. We'll have a temperature around 25, but wind chills colder than that. And then fair skies for us tomorrow night and cold. Low temperature going down to 18. Thursday, 34 and 18, the high-low combination. Friday, we have yet another weather system coming our way, which could bring us a combination of some snow or some ice, and then back to snow again, and temperatures remaining below freezing or right at the freezing mark for Super Bowl Sunday. 32 for a high.
But we're not looking at one of those big monster storms again.
Well, no monster storms. No monster storms. But we could accumulate a little snow on Friday, but we're still a couple days out from that one, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Bob.
Okay.
Our whistleblower hotline is still open this hour. All you can do if you want to stamp out fraud, here's what you can do. You can call our hotline. The numbers are on your screen, and we're going to check in with our troubleshooter, John Baird, coming up. Also, the sun was not shining on Phoenix tonight at MSA. Chris Stout will have highlights of the Pacers game and take a look at IU Michigan next in sports.
Healthcast on Channel 13 Eyewitness News is brought to you by Revco Drugstores. Revco, a friend for life.
When you choose your family doctor, only one thing matters, that you get the best health care possible. Shouldn't the same be true of your pharmacy? At Revco, we want to be your only pharmacy. Bring us all your family's prescriptions and get true peace of mind. Like knowing that every Revco store has your complete prescription history up to date through our Prescription Access Link system.
Revco, a friend for life.
With that kind of personalized service, why would you go anywhere else for your prescriptions?
Do you take this woman to be your wife?
I do.
And do you take this man to be your husband?
I do.
And do you realize what this will do to your tax return?
Changes in your life mean changes in your taxes. So come to H&R Block, because it's your money.
Well, Frank, whole new life, huh? All that profit sharing. Where are you headed? H&R Block.
Changes in your life mean changes in your taxes. So come to H&R Block, because it's your money.
Life on the GTE MobileNet, 7:28 p.m. Somewhere, a daughter is paging her dad. A realtor is sending a fax from her car. And a man in an office is calling a man on a boat. The GTE MobileNet, a wireless network created for life as we know it, including fathers and realtors and business calls that will have to wait. Welcome.
Of the 12 jurors deciding the case, he decided on her.
I know who you are when you wake up.
She knows he's watching. She knows he's waiting.
All you have to do is say not guilty.
Now,
Who will protect you?
justice is in the hands of the juror.
Stay out of our lives.
Demi Moore, Alec Baldwin from the chilling bestseller, The Juror, rated R, at theaters February 2nd.
Chris Stout joining us now in sports, and IU acquitted themselves very well.
I don't think a lot of people around the state can really believe what happened tonight, but it did, and wow, still don't believe it. They have 10 players in uniform. One of them is a former team manager. On paper, IU was not supposed to beat 16th ranked Michigan tonight. I guess that's why folks around here call Bobby Knight one of the best. The Hoosiers come into the game 3-2 in conference play. Michigan was 4-1. Watch Maceo Bastion up the ladder. You got to be kidding me. Look at that. Michigan 16-12 early. Later in the first half, Neil Reed pops one of his 5 trays in the first half. IU led 46-43. Second half, IU with an 8-point lead until Lewis Bullock cuts the lead to 5. They eventually cut it to 2 when Charlie Miller, maybe the play of the game, Charlie with the swat. Neal finds Evans for the slam. Bryan had 21 to lead everyone. Reed finished up with a career-high 26 points on 8 three-pointers. Wow. IU again wins under adverse conditions. 99-83 is your final. Well, a great night of basketball in Indiana. Along with the Hoosiers' big win, the Pacers manhandled Phoenix without Rick Smits in the lineup. Cotton Fitzsimmons joining the Phoenix Suns since Paul Westphal was fired last week. You're not going to believe Reggie tonight. Lighting it up early. He only missed 1 shot in the first half, had 23 at the break. Dale Davis also had 16 points and 11 boards. 64-47 Pacers at the half. Cotton is a little worried, but Chuck's back. Charles Barkley made his return to Market Square after big toe problems. Charles had 20, but the Pacers way too much tonight. Reggie, 6 for 8 from three-point land. He finished with a season-high 40 points. The Pacers win 117-102. Here's Reggie on his big game.
I knew I could beat them off the dribble, and my step back was kind of working tonight because they were kind of playing up on me, and I could pretty much get any kind of shot I wanted tonight.
And like I say, the Davis boys just kicked our butt, and but I think that obviously the major story tonight was Reggie. I mean, when he gets it going like that, and we had no answers.
Certainly did not. Here's a look at the rest of the NBA tonight. Chicago winner over New York by 20 in New York. Orlando over Philly. Atlanta better than Cleveland, and Toronto beats New Jersey 86-79. Well, the Colts have signed all of their assistant coaches to contract extensions. However, defensive coordinator Vince Tobin may be up for the Arizona Cardinal job. The Cardinals have apparently asked permission from the Colts to talk with Tobin. Now, Tobin cannot be reached for comment. The Cards are looking for a Buddy Ryan replacement. The Colts also offered Ted Marchibroda a contract extension, which Marchibroda, of course, led the Colts to the AFC Championship. We'll look for him to sign that extension, hopefully, very, very soon. Well, Super Bowl 30 is only 5 days away. Don Hine is in Arizona following the Super Bowl and has this story.
Well, hi again, Indy. Welcome to Phoenix, Arizona, as they prepare for Super Bowl 30. You know, with the 500, we definitely know about big-time events, and this is a big-time event. Hey, you've been through enough Super Bowls to know that the players on Media Day aren't going to give you any insight to the game.
We're a team you love to hate, pretty much, because we have so many personalities on this team, and we're good. And we know we're good, and we let you know that we're good.
Dion was still talking when we left. Pittsburgh lineman Kendall Gammon was taking his own shots for posterity. Now, we want guys with something to say, even if Chris Collinsworth didn't pick the Colts in the playoffs.
Finally got one right the last Indianapolis game, but it came down to the last throw. I'm sitting there, I'm like the guys from the Pittsburgh side. I was like, oh, please, God, don't let the Colts go to the Super Bowl after I've been banging on them all the way through the playoffs.
Neither he nor another former Bengal, Bob Trumpy, think Pittsburgh will even show up.
This is a major mismatch, at least when you look at it on paper. And these guys are just so big and so physical. I don't like Pittsburgh at all.
I have to agree with you.
And you don't agree with Collinsworth?
No, not very often. But to beat Dallas, you have to stop their offense. And to stop their offense, you have to first stop Emmitt Smith. And you can't do it with a 34 defense.
Now, Chris, we'll be keeping you updated here on the Vince Tobin Arizona Cardinals situation, and we ought to have Jim Harbaugh with us tomorrow. I'm Don Hine in Phoenix as they prepare for the Super Bowl for Channel 13 Eyewitness Sports.
Obviously nice weather out there. Two more things to add, by the way. The Dream Team will be playing in the RCA Dome July 14th with the Reggie Miller and also IRL Media Day tomorrow down in Disneyland. We will be there and have live reports throughout the rest of the week.
All right. Thanks a lot, Chris.
You bet.
Well, if you're tired of being taken to the cleaners by people ready to rip you off, now is your chance to get even. Just call the numbers on the screen and we'll show you how to become a whistleblower coming up next.
Kraft or Meyer brand, Uncle Ben's or Meyer, Dole or Meyer, Jif or Meyer, Kellogg's or Meyer. You won't taste the difference either. For quality and selection in the bargain, buy Meyer brand. Meyer has over 1,600 different Meyer brand food choices. That's a lot of tasteful ways to save. Meyer brand. Why pay more?
What makes February different around here? College hoops, right? Wrong. Tough winters? Tax time? Yes. And tax time means it's time to save at your Lincoln Mercury dealer. They're clearing out inventory, passing great tax savings onto you. Plus now get 4.8 financing up to 48 months on all 96 Mercurys. Whatever you do, see your Lincoln Mercury dealer before the tax man. Or you could be left out in the cold.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury now.
Arby's beef and cheddar. It's everything you want from a cheeseburger and then some. Slow roasted beef, a hot tangy cheddar cheese sauce, all on a toasted onion roll.
Would we say we have the entertainment excitement of the Big Apple? In a New York minute, only without the traffic. Would we say our shopping rivals that of the Windy City? It'll blow you away, only without the inflated prices. Would we say that between New York and Chicago there's now another option? Yes. Circle Center in downtown Indianapolis. Big city shopping. Without the big city bother.
Did the turtle get it?
Oh, no.
Ameritech voicemail works whether you're on the phone or the phone's off the hook.
You have 4 new messages.
Call now and get voicemail free for 30 days.
Message from Grandma. She found your turtle.
Cool.
Ameritech, your link to better communication.
If you're tired of getting ripped off, we have help for you. John Baird joins us live now, ready to take your calls on our whistleblower hotline. John?
John, we've been getting calls all night long. Here's a couple of them I want to share with you. One, a complaint about a home that was bought, the furnace went out, the roof leaks, and this lady needs help. Another, a large phone bill, a child. Making 800, 900 calls, running up a huge bill. My favorite is this one. The situation is fixed. Please don't call me. In any event, you will be able to get a chance to call us the next 2 nights, so just stay tuned and we can help you out solve a consumer problem. John, back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, John. Want to give us one more shout on the weather?
Well, it's a precip that's out there now. Very light stuff. Should change over to a little dusting of snow in the morning. And watch it. The roads could be a little slick, those that don't get treated.
All right. Thanks a lot, Bob. And that'll do it for us. Thank you very much for being with us. The Tonight Show with Jay Leno is next, and we'll see you again tomorrow.